I remember watching the Fairly Oddparents as a kid, and for some reason, I always hoped and rooted for Timmy to finally earn Trixie's love and affection. But as I've gotten older, and hopefully wiser, I've realized that Trixie didn't deserve Timmy. In fact, her character is a bit of a weird one the more that I think about it. After rewatching the series, I think I've pinpointed one of the episodes that wrecked any chance of Trixie becoming a solid character in the show. Some might even say that this episode ruined Trixie's character in The Fairly Oddparents. The episode I'm thinking of is Just the Two of Us, and I feel like it really hammered in the point that Trixie was only created to push a TV trope that was super common in the early 2000s. You see, it used to be really common, especially in cartoons, for a show's main character to be attracted to someone who was way out of their league or completely not into them. A good example is from another Butch Hartman show, Danny Phantom. Danny's in love with Paulina, but she hardly recognizes his existence. The trope usually consists of the character constantly trying to win over their love interest, which would then lead to some sort of problem that becomes the main focus of the episode. Well, when you think about it, this was pretty much Trixie's entire purpose in The Fairly Oddparents. She was designed specifically to be the popular girl that Timmy had a crush on, but because of the social hierarchy, he never actually had a shot with her. But that might be for the better, because Trixie wasn't actually that great in terms of character development. And after watching Just the Two of Us, it's clear that she wasn't the right girl for Timmy. But what happened in the episode that made such an impact on her character to the point where she might as well not have existed in the first place? Interestingly enough, it all starts with Timmy being into some weird things, like being emotionally destroyed in front of crowds of people in various settings. That's right. Our boy seems to repeatedly like getting his heart broken. I mean, he literally says it himself in the first few minutes of the episode, though not exactly in those words. The episode opens with Timmy and the rest of his classmates on a school trip of sorts to the local ice rink to go skating. At first, it seemed like it might be an episode that would be centered around Timmy and his friends, Chester and AJ, because the three were all skating together. AJ had his typical enhanced rollerblades with strange training wheel style side blades attached to them, and on the opposite end of the spectrum, Chester was skating in nothing but his socks. Nonetheless, the trio seemed to be having a great time when the focus of the episode quickly shifts off of them and onto Timmy's unattainable love interest, Trixie Tang. As the skating rink's DJ announces that it is time for the couple skate, Timmy immediately sets his sights on Trixie, but in a very weird way. After Wanda points out that Timmy should ask Trixie to skate together, Timmy immediately gets excited. But not about the idea of skating with Trixie, no. Instead, Timmy was hyped up about the chance of being rejected on ice, as though it was a Disney event or something. Timmy wanted one ticket to rejection on ice. I'm not exaggerating either. Timmy's own words were, "Even though she shot me down every time I've asked her before, this could be her big chance to do it on ice." The poor kid was literally excited about getting rejected, and I mean, to each their own, but maybe Timmy needs to talk to somebody about that. Another strange thing about this whole interaction is that it went exactly as Timmy seemed to want it to. He skated over to Trixie, and before he could even ask her, she snapped her finger and was surrounded by a crowd that blocked him out. And for some reason, Timmy is shown to be visibly upset. Look at that, that's an angry pile of snow. Now, it could be because his friend Chester, who was actively skating around dressed as a girl so he could join AJ in the couple's skate, was messing with him. But Timmy seemed genuinely upset about not being able to skate with Trixie. So what does any of this have to do with Trixie's character being ruined by this episode? Well, this all led to a wish that not only forced Timmy and Trixie to spend time together, but really highlights one of her character's biggest faults. After becoming an angry snowman and being told by Chester that Trixie wouldn't skate with him even if he was the last boy on the planet, Timmy came up with a really bad idea. Timmy got right to wishing and told Cosmo and Wanda to get rid of every other boy from his school. However, that doesn't stop Mark Chang, the alien, from trying his luck to skate with Trixie, which only leads Timmy to push the wish further and declare that he wants him and Trixie to be the only two people left on Earth. Just like that, everyone was literally poofed out of existence and Timmy could finally approach Trixie. So far so good, right? Wrong. Almost immediately, it becomes clear what Trixie really wants and needs out of life. As she realized that she was no longer surrounded by a crowd of people, Trixie started to freak out and very loudly explained to Timmy that with no boys around, there were fewer people to actively adore her. Well, it turns out that she needs people to adore her. Now, again, to each their own, but maybe Trixie should also be talking that out because her need to be adored is almost as alarming as Timmy's love for rejection. On ice. As the episode continues, it's only further solidified that Trixie needs attention to the point where it wouldn't ever be possible for her to get it from a single source. That doesn't stop Timmy from trying though, which only leads to more opportunities for Trixie's character to be ruined. The first red flag was when Trixie, not so politely, demanded that Timmy constantly remind her of how pretty she was. This wasn't a big deal for Timmy though, because he was already in love with Trixie, so saying that she was pretty isn't that big of an ask, I suppose. Even though things started off well for Timmy, things took a very quick downhill turn. After spending a couple of hours together, Timmy had to use the bathroom, which he didn't think anything of. But on his way out, he was confronted by a very angry Trixie. She, for some reason, believed that Timmy was off talking to another girl instead of her, even though he just walked out of the boys' bathroom. Timmy managed to calm Trixie down, and they moved on with their day. But after another few hours pass, Timmy realizes he is in way over his head. He knew he needed to get some time away from Trixie, but quickly learned he couldn't hide from her. Trixie's face appeared on every monitor in the electronics section that Timmy was hiding in, and once again started yelling at him. There really was nowhere for Timmy to hide as Trixie continued to snap, solely because there weren't enough people around to give her attention. There were even times throughout the episode when Timmy tried to gnaw his arm off like he was an animal caught in a trap. Eventually though, Timmy came to the conclusion that he needed to break up with Trixie, but as you'd expect from someone who needs that much attention, that was easier said than done. After Timmy tries to break up with Trixie, she decides to kill him. That's not me exaggerating either. Trixie literally vowed that if she couldn't have Timmy, then no one could, and then tried to kill him multiple times. One time, she attacked him with a lawnmower, and then again with a helicopter. There was no shortage of weaponry in her arsenal, and with her needy attitude, that's honestly terrifying. Now, as all of this was happening, Cosmo was off being super jealous for no reason at all, which kept Wanda too busy to save Timmy right away. Thankfully, Wanda realized that she just needed to smother Cosmo with love and he would snap out of it, and the pair could save their boy just as Trixie was about to cut Timmy in half with the blades of the helicopter. Talk about dedication! As Timmy's fairies appeared, he wished everything back to normal. It's at this point that Timmy very comically claims that he's done with love and all that couple stuff, and after that, the episode ends on a good note. But we shouldn't overlook the fact that the episode basically proved that Trixie's entire character revolves around attention and being adored, which doesn't really make her much of a character at all. Honestly, that's a bit of a bummer when it feels like the show almost tried to develop her character more at one point. For instance, in the Season 2 episode, The Boy Who Would Be Queen, the show revealed that Trixie secretly liked boys' comics. Timmy found this out after he wished to be a girl and actually started to bond with Trixie. The pair had a great time together all throughout the episode, and Trixie even let Timmy know that she would be willing to be friends with any boy who was able to admit that he liked romantic soap operas. However, she didn't tell him the hidden clause to that statement, which was that she would be friends with a boy as long as he didn't admit it in front of her female friends. This is exactly what Timmy did in the episode, and what led Trixie to still deny his friendship. While the episode still ended with Timmy on the outs with Trixie, it seemed to add a level of depth to her character that would have been nice to see again. But instead, the show decided not to develop her character any further. I mean, beyond being popular and loved by everybody. Trixie has no personality and no traits that make her relatable or realistic. It's as though she was only designed to push the common trope of the main character being obsessed with someone who is considered out of their league. Not to mention, the episode really emphasized the fact that Timmy and Trixie would not make a good couple for a ton of reasons. One of which is the fact that Trixie clearly needs multiple people around her at all times, telling her how great she is and competing for her affection. I don't think Timmy could really handle being with someone like that, and the episode only solidified that idea. In the end, The Fairly Oddparents is a cartoon, and Trixie is a character designed to make children laugh, so I don't want anyone to think that I don't like Trixie Tang or that anyone should dislike her character. If she's your favorite part of The Fairly Oddparents, more power to you. It's just hard to deny that this episode in particular, just the two of us, ruined any chance she had at getting any sort of storyline. What do you think though? Was this episode really that bad for Trixie's portrayal, or was her shallowness a part of what separated her from the rest of the show's side characters? Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments below.